Hey, my name is Kurt Krodle, and my family and I, well, at least most of my family, and I have been here at First Baptist for about 2.5 years. My wife Teresa and I came in January of 2009, and then Kason followed us in August of 2009 when he was born, so he's going on 2 years now. And we love this place, and I also have the privilege of serving on our church staff and the ed staff as minister to youth. This week's readings have been pretty cool, just to be real honest with you, to kind of be able to read ahead as we finish up this growth area of share. So our readings have come from Acts 10, and then we flipped over and been in Matthew 10 and Matthew 25. I want to make sure I had that right, just in case you were wondering if you read the wrong thing this week. The question that I've chosen to respond to from Dr. Weil's reflection questions, really I kind of want to hit all three to a point, but I guess two things kind of stand out. I loved the first question was, what insight did you gain from reading Peter's encounter with Cornelius? Really a couple things stood out to me in Acts 10, and it was just good to be able to kind of break that chapter into 3 different sections to read Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and just to really spend some time trying to figure out what in the world was going on here. But a couple of things that really stood out to me that seemed significant and challenged me as we finish up this growth area, and really just kind of wrapping things up, even from the things that Dr. Weil shared on Sunday, and looking at, as he says, that really after the cross, the followers, especially the Jewish believers, had to put on their Jesus glasses. And it really just reshaped everything, and realizing for us that we look at everything through the lens of the cross. And so we've already seen everything post-cross. We didn't grow up in the Jewish faith and then to see things change. And here we see as the Holy Spirit comes to Peter, and I love down in verse 13, a voice told him, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." I love his response in verse 14, where he simply says, and the NIV reads, "Surely not, Lord." And then the voice says, "Don't call anything impure that God has made clean." And so immediately then we see Peter as he just kind of reacts to his understanding of his faith and his faith heritage. But now we see how for his life so much will change. And this is one of those places in chapter 10 where it drastically changes. And then we see, though, if we keep going down in verse 21, it says that as the servants of Cornelius had come and they called for him, it says in verse 21 that Peter went down and said to them, "I'm the one you're looking for." And then he said after that, "Why have you come?" It was pretty profound to me and just challenging to me to see that Peter's initial reaction was that of obedience. My question probably first would have been, "Why have you come?" And then depending on their answer, maybe at that point I would have decided if I would have said, "I'm the one you're looking for," or if I'd have gone back to the church office and looked for somebody else to meet those guys. But I loved just the quick obedience on Peter's part. I also love then as he goes back with Cornelius and he's met there by Cornelius' friends and family, and they respond and just bowing down and almost an act of worship towards Peter. And he tells him to get up and says, "Man, I'm just a normal guy like you." But immediately, even there, he just begins to share the big story and shares the gospel very succinctly and clearly. And so that kind of takes me to the second question that Dr. Wiles gave us, and that is, how is Jesus using you to sow seeds of the gospel in others' lives? And then also the third one is, have you shared Jesus with anyone in these past 8 weeks? If so, what's happened? I've really been challenged in the last several months just to try to find connection with my neighbors. And I live in one of those neighborhoods where when you pull into your driveway, you drive into your garage, you drop the garage door, and then literally there are neighbors that we've never seen since we've been there. Like, I don't know when they mow their yard or when they take out their trash. We've just never seen them before. And so I've just been praying for God to give us opportunities to really even meet some of our neighbors. And so one of the guys across the street, we've been talking and just kind of trying to get to know each other and try to make sure I speak when I see him and just try to talk. And a couple weeks ago, he came over, or I went over or something. We met in the middle of the street, and he just began to share with me that he had lost his job. And so that has given me an incredible opportunity just already to begin to share with him and talk to him and talk about my faith and just to pray for him. And I just keep telling him I'm praying for him. So if you wouldn't mind today, when you get done watching this video, would you pray for my neighbor Bobby? Pray that God would provide for he and his family, and pray that God would just give him a job, provide a job for him. And I guess I'm the guy on the video, so I can ask you to do that. But it's been pretty exciting and encouraging to me just to see God open some doors in the last few weeks. Not that I could say I've been able to share a whole lot with folks, but really for the first time in almost 2 years that I've lived in my home, I've begun to pray that God has just opened doors. And I feel like really right now it's just been a matter of I've been able to sow some seeds and been able to talk a little bit about my faith, but and just so grateful how the Lord has used that. And just as we finish up this growth area of share, that it really doesn't mean for us to finish that up and we're done with that. Now we can move on to love, but this really would just be something continual in our lives and be a part of who we are. And so I hope you've been challenged this week as I have been, and it's been a really, really neat week. It's been a great 8 weeks as we've just gone through this growth area. Really excited about starting love this next week, but I hope you, like me, I'm just trying not to run too quickly from share, because this was one I wasn't really excited about because I knew I would be challenged, much like the other growth areas before it and probably like the ones to come. But grateful for you. Pray that God's doing a work in your life, and praying for our church. Pray you that we continue to do that as well. Pray for Bobby, would you, today? And thanks a lot. It's been cool.